We just announced back on August 12th a new service. It's a luxury jet service product that I would say slots somewhere between first class airline service and fully private jet charter or ownership. So we've been looking at the market share coming in here in Aspen, but more on a more global level. We're looking at other markets as well that are aspirational point-to-point markets, be it an LA, a New York, a Cabo, a Napa, Maui jet, those kinds of things. But right now we're focused on AspenJet, launching it, doing it right. We recognized, I think, a need that was quite frankly, whose time had come before COVID. But certainly COVID has accelerated the need for it and cemented a number of unique things around what we're doing. But it truly is a new market segment, if you will. What we recognized here in Aspen, which is a very aspirational market. A lot of travelers come here expecting first-class service. And frankly, they, on the airline side, and the airlines would admit it, because of the type of aircraft that they've been relegated to using here and a number of other factors, they're not getting the first-class service that they would deserve. In Aspen specifically, they've got a 95-foot wingspan limitation. That 95-foot wingspan limitation has prevented airlines from coming in here with anything larger than a CRJ 700 aircraft, let's say, that seats 75 people. And that aircraft does not have the fuel capacity to make long-haul markets with a full load of passengers and make it to like New York or make it to South Florida. And therefore, a lot of those markets, you have to connect. It takes you all day to get here. And New York is the second largest market that comes to Aspen, LA being the first. We can capture 50% of the market that comes in on the airline, not to mention the other segment, which I'll talk about in just a second, which is the charter jet market or the private flight market. But what we ended up doing is saying, why don't we take an airline category aircraft and cut it down to 30 passengers? Because they're not getting that first class service they want and desire. What if we were to take an Embraer 175 or a 190, if you will, that maybe seats 88 to 100 passengers, cut it down to 30 and put a new configuration, an executive configuration in there that feels like a private jet, actually beyond first class. I would call it executive class. And then when you go, this is the part about finding something that just being lucky and that didn't exist or nobody saw before. If you take 88 seats and a 88-seat passenger airplane and take 58 off, getting you down to 30 seats, you end up with a whole lot of weight in passenger weight, baggage weight, and seat weight that can now be converted into fuel capacity that can now make those long-haul markets. So just something like that, opening up an entire marketplace and simultaneously delivering on the promise of a luxury branded experience, coming into Aspen, a marketplace that really deserves it and has been crying out for it for a long time. Well, I relate it back to my own experience. It's nice to have somebody that has experience in brand or in the space, but I got very lucky early on when a guy by the name of Garth Brooks, before anybody knew what a Garth was, says what you lack in experience, you make up for with tenacity and enthusiasm. And if it's okay by you, let's go rodeo. And that was kind of our launch point 30 years ago. Speaking of launch point, into a business that I wanted to be in. I aspired to be in the entertainment business, and he made that possible. You have to be out there swinging. I had to be out there trying to earn a seat at the table. I had to have my cleats on and my cap on and be at the plate. But what I look for is passion and energy and enthusiasm. And an example of that is whenever we announced AspenJet, almost immediately I started getting applications. We have a partnership link where if somebody's interested in partnering with us, and I respond to each and every one of those that come through, but it really was like, pilots, flight attendants, people who have had experience running airlines. I had airline CEOs reach out to me and say, congratulations, man, I think you've nailed this. If there's any insight that we can provide, please don't hesitate to call on us. So it's
Mm.
gratifying. I've had people reach out, wanting to partner, from luxury branded hotels and 5-star limousine services and everything. So, I'm learning from them. And I look at it as like, we're building a bus or an airplane. There's a seat for everybody. And it's just a matter of finding the ones who can contribute, who are passionate, and looking at their experience and finding the best seat on the bus for them.